I forget I think one of the Allied commanders or one of the British people said how his sidearm had saved his life. He was sitting inside of a bar or a pilot shop. He was sitting inside of a mess hall, and they were having coffee, or it was a bar or something, I don't know. But he had a sidearm on his hip, and he said two men walked in with machine guns, and they started to spray the room. And he said he pulled out his gun because, like I say, I always made sure that my pilots always had a sidearm, because they might have to bail out of a plane, and they might find themselves behind enemy lines with nothing but a gun or a sidearm. Anyway, one of my pilots said he was inside of a restaurant with a bunch of his other pilots or something like that, or a bunch of other people, military people, and two guys had just walked in with machine guns and just started spraying the room to kill them all. And he said that sidearm saved his life. He pulled the sidearm and shot them both dead. They had killed quite a few people, but they didn't kill all of them. So he said, I heard in one of the reports that someone had basically walked in and just started killing all of them, killing all the pilots or something like that, and he had pulled his gun. And because like I say, all my top commanders had a sidearm, and all my other people, they always carried a sidearm with them. It was one of the problems too, because people would go to lunch and they would leave their machine gun somewhere, like up against the wall or something like that, and people back during some of the Civil War days would come in and shoot them, and they wouldn't have a gun on them, because it's leaning against the wall over there. So I made sure that all my top commanders and all my pilots had sidearms that they always carried with them. Like I said, at a war meeting or something like that, you're discussing something and one of your guys pulls a gun, or two guys walk in with guns, and so my people always had a sidearm. So, yeah. So one of the pilots or one of the crews said that it was during peacetime or whatever, and two guys had walked in with machine guns. They said maybe it was Al Capone or someone like that. I think they might have they were using submachine guns, and they just started killing everyone in the room. It was somewhere around World War II, somewhere around there. I think it might have been in Britain or something like that. Like I say, a lot of my British and American pilots and Russian pilots, a lot of my pilots, like they would go and fly the missions, and they would like my people were always together. So like a ragtag group kind of thing. So different nationalities and stuff. So anyway though. Apparently, like I don't. This might have been I swear. Anyway, though, I swear it was in Britain, because it was RAF, and like I had one base or three bases or something like that that were left. Like I said, Russia was gone. Whatever America was gone. I had limited fuel reserves. Like it was just whatever was out there in the public, and like one airfield to my name, or three airfields to my name. And they couldn't even stay at the air base or something like that. They had to go into the woods or something. I don't really remember exact details of it, but it was bad. It was like everybody was dead or something like that. And anyway, I don't even know how my people recovered. I don't know how they climbed out of that, because somebody had been watching and known, and they just went and they were ready. They had bided their time, and they were just like right at me, went right for the throat, like that. There was peace and everything, and then all of a sudden it was just, and they had gone for top command. They had gone for everyone. Anyway, so anyone loyal to me. So, but like I say, I had been helping farmers. I had been helping businessmen. People were retired. The old people knew me. Some of the children knew me. They only took out about a third of my command structure, the top third, and some of the commanders or something like that. It was kind of like how Europe fell. They tried to take the whole thing at once, or something. It almost was like a combined attack. Like, I don't even think it's in the history report. Like they say, history is written by the victors. So when they tried to take me out, they just killed as many as they could, I guess, and just took the planes and just bombed everything. And America wasn't the wiser. America had no idea, I don't think, or whatever Republic of Washington didn't know. Like I say, that the whole world was separated. Nobody knew anything, and all they had was information that was carried by the pilots. Like the pilots would come back with information of shooting here or destruction there or fire here. I was I was gone. I was dead. I wasn't even the rebel force. I was nothing. Like I say, it was weird because I had no control over anything. It's like, that's it. I fold. And my people were like, slide, drag. It's almost like little children and old people dragging me. You don't die today. It's like, let me die. Like they're like dragging me across the ground. Just let me die, and they're like, no. I mean, like I say, I knew it was bad. I knew it was the worst ever, and they were joking about it. Even though there were people dying all over the place, they were joking. Like I said, it wasn't one group being racially, and they weren't using gas chambers. They were just shooting them in the streets with guns. They would just go and shoot them. It was like a third world country everywhere. Like I say, later on, I tried to evacuate people to keep them ahead of the advancing armies. But the reality of the situation is there was just all of a sudden one night or 24 hours or a month or a week or so, they systematically took out any kind of power structure in Europe. Everything from military to the companies. So, anyway, yeah. And I'm not sure about the details. I don't know. Like I say, I was witness to it and nothing more. But yeah, and afterwards, I heard stories of how my people had been thankful to have swords or guns because someone had come to kill them. So, and a lot of people died. They died. They didn't die in any kind of glorified fashion. They died in the mess tents. They died in bunks. They died. These people didn't want to wait. Didn't want to risk the fact that they would get a fair fight. They shot them at lunch at the mess hall. They shot them in the bases. They shot them in the grocery stores. It was clear, just like just spray and go, basically tactics. They would just spray a tent and run or something. Later on, my other people used it against them. People were like, "Oh yes, this is effective," or something like that. I don't really know. Like it was just bad. But a few planes got off the ground, and they were able to do some stuff, and slowly they would. Like I say, my people were dragging me. My people were the ones that were like, okay, and just like they were the ones doing all the. They understood the battlefield. They understood what was going on. They knew what was really happening. I had no idea. So I was just playing catch up with whatever had happened. The darkest day ever. Anyway, yeah. Like I say, someone had planned the whole thing very well. And I practically wasn't even a witness to it. That's how Europe fell. So anyway, yeah. Worst day ever, I guess you could say. Like I said, I spent years trying to figure out what the heck happened in Europe. Like, how did it begin? Where did it begin? How did they take over like they did? I really didn't know. Maybe I'd gotten complacent.